Mostafa TERRAB, you are the Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of OCP, which I suppose is the world's biggest phosphate producer. So you have a real role in food security, and you've just been chairing a panel, a round table on food security. What is the connection between food security and good governance?
OCP is the largest exporter, not the largest producer. The connection is easy to fathom when one realizes that we would need to feed, the planet would need to feed 9 billion people in about 2050 with very little growth in arable land. That means there are only one solution is to increase the productivity of the same pieces and surface of land. That can only happen with technology and fertilizers. Now, fertilizers are going to have to be used more extensively and hopefully more reasonably and more responsibly. But we are doing a lot of R&D in that sense. And the link between phosphate and fertilizer is that fertilizers are made of 3 basic nutrients: potash, nitrogen, and phosphate.
Given the news of the last year, is there a connection between food security and the Arab Spring or the Arab awakening? I mean, I'm going back not just the Arab Spring, but you can go back to food riots in various developing countries, including, of course, in Egypt not so long ago. Is there a connection there?
I think there is a connection. It started, if only symbolic, but I think it is more than symbolic, since it started in Tunisia with, if I recall, the accident of the gentleman who was selling food, if I'm not mistaken. But I think the connection is with food prices and probably with the volatility of food prices more than the level of food prices. When you can have economists on both sides of the equation, are food prices too high today and something that they were too low yesterday? Let's keep in mind that there is also the small farmer that benefits from high food prices on the other end of the equation. I think there is a connection, but I think it has more to do with volatility than the level of prices.
Just a final question. And the Arab Spring, the Arab awakening, whatever one wants to call it, is obviously a historical phenomenon of great importance. How do you think it's going to evolve? How do you see the Arab world from Morocco all the way across to Iraq in, well, 5 years' time, 10 years' time?
Well, one would have to use a crystal ball to answer your question, the same crystal ball that could have been used to actually forecast the Arab Spring. As you recall, nobody forecasted. So I think I would have...
They did, but they just didn't know when. It's like saying, it will rain, but we don't know whether it'll rain tomorrow or 10 days ago or whatever.
Yeah. I'm an optimist. I think that the Arab Spring will lead, and it is already the case in many countries, including Morocco, to a more democratic and open system and more representation from the people. So I'm an optimistic, and I'm an optimist. I look at the long term. This is good for the Arab world and for the planet in general in the long term.
Excellent. Mostafa TERRAB, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, sir.
Shukran.